preparing the live stream. It says it's now streaming on YouTube, but it probably hasn't started quite yet. But we'll assume it has. Done, redirecting to YouTube. Okay, we are live. So here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I'll post the link in the chat. There we go. All right. There's the link if you want to share that out. We are indeed live.
Hey, welcome to Bengal Jim's pre-draft virtual draft party tonight. Just very excited to have an all-star lineup for you guys tomorrow. So make sure that you get the word out for us, get people to subscribe to our YouTube channel. But tomorrow we have got an array of an all-star lineup. We have from 6:30 to 7:30. We have Ken Anderson joining us. We have folks from Bengal, UK, Paul Irons. We have James Rapine coming on in that first hour. And we have a boatload of fan groups from across the world dialing in. We've got folks from Brazil, Germany, Spain, Mexico, Scotland, England, folks from the East Coast, folks from the West Coast. So very excited about it. And I'll introduce you guys to James and Jamie, who are going to be facilitating this with us tomorrow night. And James, go ahead and take it from there, man, if you're able to, and we'll introduce the rest of the lineup there.
Hope everybody's doing well. Thank you, Bengal Jim. And I think a lot of us were planning on being in Vegas right as we speak. And unfortunately, that's not the case. So with that being said, we hope everybody's safe, taking the necessary precautions, and, you know, hopefully it won't be too much longer before we'll be able to meet up and drink some 50 West and do some Bengal bombs and have all that good stuff. So as Jimmy said, we're pretty excited for tomorrow night. You know, the draft is always something that I personally look forward to. The last couple of years, it's had even more meaning. Fortunate enough to attend the draft in Dallas 2 years ago, and then Nashville last year. And as I said, actually the three of us here, we're all going to be in Vegas with a bunch of other Bengal fans, and that didn't happen. So we got the next best thing. I think Jimmy and I were talking about, hey, what can we do? We want to do something, get the Bengal fans involved, and, you know, make this as fun as possible. And here we are. But certainly Jimmy and I aren't the most technical savvy people out of the three you see on the screen. So we want to thank our neighbor to the north, Jamie, who is a regular at the tailgates when he can make it down from cold Toronto. So thank you so much, Jamie, for being the brains behind the setup here and doing the technical stuff.
Okay, so he does
no pressure.
He does look, he's smarter than he looks. I can tell you guys that for sure.
He still has a Christmas sweater on. It's probably snowing in Canada.
That's not why I put it on. Yeah, thanks, guys. I'm super excited to be part of this. Like James said, you know, we're all supposed to be in Vegas. I was looking forward to Vegas, not gonna lie. But this is the next best thing, right? We get to gather virtually like everyone else is doing, and get to watch and celebrate this pick together. Scott Gibb in the chat says, looking forward to tomorrow night, fellas.
Hey, see where Scott's from. I think he might be from Scotland. I don't know. Yeah,
Scott, let us know in the chat where you're from, man. So yeah, what I'm most excited about tomorrow, obviously, besides getting Joe Burrow, is just all the guests you guys have lined up. Like, you know, kudos to you guys. So, you know, so Bengal Jim sends an email out, and we got Kenny Andrews. Like, you want to read the list? Go ahead.
Yeah, let me finish the list.
It's impressive.
I started off pretty damn excited, guys. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
Just kind of recap the special guest we have lined up for everybody tomorrow night. We're going to make this as interactive as we can make it as well. So Kenny Anderson, very excited about Kenny Anderson. Paul Irons from the Bengals UK group. If you don't follow them on Twitter or Facebook, a must follow. A lot of good stuff to talk about. James Rapine from Sports Illustrated. We had the big dog, Willie Anderson, on board with us. Pete Johnson, Ohio State, Cincinnati Bengal legend. Pete Johnson will be on. Gary Owen, not an athlete. The guy's a movie star and a comedian. You might know and have heard him. He'll be on with us. He's from Cincinnati, big time Cincinnati guy. So we're pumped about it. He's as diehard as fan as everybody on listening and watching this right now. We have Joe Goodberry from the Athletic. Paul Daner Jr. From the Athletic as well. So a lot of special guests. And I really had to send out a special shout to a couple people. Cook Sporting Goods, downtown Cincinnati. He used to be the supplier of the Bengals uniforms back in the late 60s, 70s, all the way through the 80s up until the early 90s, until the NFL took over. Cooks is supplying us with a number of giveaway prizes for tomorrow night. A number of great prizes. The main prize, the big prize that we're giving away later in the evening is going to be a Joe Burrow jersey, authentic Joe Burrow jersey. So
did you see once we announced that, Jimmy, that the Bengals said that's who they're going to take? So I think we made that announcement and they said, heck, Bengal Gyms has this jersey made. We're going to have to take them now.
Absolutely.
Not reading out of the spot.
And then some other special guests that are really part of our tailgate for many, many years and have been big parts of what we're doing. You know, Dell Hall with 50 West is an amazing. He will be on with us tomorrow as well. So he's done a 50-day beer fast. So you probably heard stories in the media about that. We're going to talk to Dell. Craig Johnson from Cincy Beer Fest is just a great friend and been part of the tailgate for many years. So we're excited about everybody being part of this thing. So James, I don't know if I missed anybody. I know we got a big list of folks there.
No, I think it's good. I mean, and who knows, a lot can happen between now and then. And obviously on draft night, certainly a lot could happen. I think we'll know early. Joe will officially be a member from a Bayou Bengal to a Cincinnati Bengal. And then, you know, we're sitting pretty to start round two. Actually, you mentioned The Athletic earlier. They had a good article about what's happened at the 33rd pick over the years, who's traded out of it. They also mentioned it's been 3 years in a row that the Bengals have traded back in the second round. This year, I think as most loyal Bengal fans know, we have 7 picks, so there's no extra comp picks this year, which we usually have to play with. So maybe we'll see that again in round 2 where we trade back and pick up some more. But it's a great spot to be in. Obviously, everybody knows the needs at tackle. We went pretty heavy on the defensive side last year, or excuse me, in free agency. So I think we're in a situation, maybe not to pick the best player available, but something that's going to help us from this year.
All right, so I got to ask you guys. So Andy Dalton, you think there's some picks in the wing, waiting in the wings for him here come tomorrow or not?
You know, personally, man, I think. Listen, he's obviously he can start. He shouldn't be back up in the league, I don't think. So I think there's teams waiting just for the Bengals to let him go, to pick him up. I mean, why? I'd wait and get him for nothing instead of giving a draft pick. But you know what? If Duke and the Bengals are serious about doing right by him, I think they have to take anything they can get to make sure he goes. And I mean, this is Joe's team now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I think, you know, some of the teams that are talked about, for example, New England, you know, they don't have the cap space. So we're not on Madden just being able to trade, you know, a star quarterback for draft picks. There's a lot behind the scenes and numbers and cap space and being able to make everything work. Obviously, teams have money aside right now for the draft picks in 2020 here. So I think it sounds good. Yeah, you know, he's going to be traded. But here's something else. I think Mike Brown and Duke and the guys have a pretty strong affinity towards Andy, and I don't think they just want to put him in a bad situation either. So, you know, he's been great. I mean, look at the foundation and what they've done for the city of Cincinnati and a lot of people, you know, in the community. So I think they'll do right by him and put him in a good situation.
I think Jacksonville makes the most sense personally, guys. I don't know what you guys think, but I mean, that's a team where you can go in and start right away.
Yeah.
See the interesting banner there between the owner's son and their estranged defensive lineman wanting more money and wants to be traded. Certainly, I don't think they do a straight up trade, but, you know, talking about cap space, you know, we're for the first time getting close to that max per se. You know, there's talks about Joe Mixon, you know, wanting a new deal. Obviously, you know, we need to slide that in. AJ's deal is 1 year on the franchise tag, but there's also some planning ahead that the Bengals need to do looking forward. And I don't think any of us on this call want to see Joe go, but you know, he's in line for a payday. Hopefully he takes a hometown discount, but you know, maybe.
You guys think AJ signs long term, or you think he's going to play on the tag?
I think they're talking to AJ right now, trying to get that extension. I think they need to do that before July 1st. But I'm hoping they sign him, AJ, to a long-term deal. I really do.
And there's, you know, I mean, God bless Bobby Hart. You know, that's where we can save some money at right tackle. But you know, I think maybe if we use that second round pick and find somebody there that we can plug and play from day one, Fred Johnson. A lot of people liked what they saw from him in limited time last year. So, you know, and hopefully, you know, Jonah's going to come back strong. It's, you know, last year it was a disappointment and no fault to himself getting injured. There's nothing we can do, but, you know, Cordy Glenn's not there at the left tackle spot as kind of a turnstile there last year with all the different people we put there. And, you know, one thing they're banking on and we need it to come to fruition is a healthy Jonah Williams to protect Joe's blind side.
Yep. I'm obviously the number one pick's a foregone conclusion. We're taking Joe Burrow, guys. He is a Cincinnati Bengal. I'm jacked about that. That the most intriguing pick to me, James, that we talked about earlier, is that second round pick. I mean, there's a potential trading back into the first round. There's potential some guys slipping into us at that first pick in the second round. If not, I think there's an opportunity to trade back deeper into the second round. That to me is the most intriguing pick for the Bengals for this whole draft at this point. So,
yeah.
Okay. So hit these timeframes again. I know we just talked about all the special guests we have and all the fan groups that are coming on. Make sure you check out Facebook and Twitter and even our Instagram. There's an actual schedule. So from 6:30 to 7:30, 6:30 we're kicking it off to 7:30, and that's where we're going to have Kenny, Bengals UK, and James Rapine. Then from 7:30 to 8, we're hanging around on our YouTube feed. The Bengals are also going to have a live feed going on, so we're going to participate and kind of do that jointly with them. Hopefully, we're going to try to figure that out. And then I think at that point, during that period of time, Dell Hall is going to be on from 50 West, the Beer Fast guy. And then at 8 o'clock, we're right back at it again. That's when the pick's going to be made between probably that first round pick, Joe Burrow pick will be made between 8:15. And so we're probably projecting that first pick to be about 8:10 to 8:15. And we're going to be able to watch that feed here on the channel here. And then once that pick is made, we're going to go right into a lot of reaction. We're going to go into reactions from Gary Owen, our fan groups. We're going to talk to Willie about it, Paul Danner Jr., Joe Goodberry, Pete Johnson. Your feedback through the interaction through post pick is going to be important as well. And throughout tonight, throughout that evening, we're going to be selecting randomly people participating, interactive chatting, picking out prizes for those folks that Cooks have donated for us to give out to you. So we'll do that randomly through the night. I will be very specific. I know we've been getting a lot of direct messages about the Joe Burrow jersey. That's probably going to happen later in the evening, probably around that 10 o'clock hour, somewhere around there. We're going to be here through the whole first round is our plan. So we'll probably announce that Joe Burrow jersey around that 10 o'clock hour sometime, but we'll be giving away stuff prior to that as well.
And the one thing, we want to stress too, is this is interactive with you, the fans. So that chat button is there when we have the guest on, whether it's Kenny Anderson, Pete, Big Willie, any of those guys, feel free to type in your question. Jamie's going to be monitoring that. We can pipe that into the guest. So again, in addition to the prizes, we want to interact with you. A lot of these people we see, weekly at the tailgates, miss seeing you guys, and hopefully it won't be too long. But this is for you as well, for interaction and whatever we can do to, just have fun with it. The draft is a fun night. As I said earlier, look forward to it every year, and hopefully after this year, we won't be having the number one pick for a long, long time.
Never again.
Right, exactly. I think one of the things I'm looking forward to the most, guys. I mean, obviously having Kenny and Willie on is going to be awesome, but the global fan reaction, just having people from what do we got, like Mexico, Spain, Brazil,
everywhere.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
That's gonna be cool.
So from my perspective, look, we're doing this. This is being done by fans for the fans, guys. We want, nobody's better or worse than anybody here. So we love you guys participate in this. To me, this is Christmas Eve. This is Christmas Eve as a Bengals fan. I am so jacked about. I haven't missed a game since it's been a long time. I'm old. 1991. I have not missed a home game.
Wow.
Been to 23 different NFL stadiums. James and I have been to a ton of those together. Guys, I don't think I've ever seen the fan base this positive, this excited in my life. So again, a lot of that has to do with social media nowadays, right? So there's a lot of excitement, a lot of negativity, but there's a lot of positivity growing and been swelling for a long time. And it's time.
But the team's actually giving us something to be excited about now. I mean, this is
Right.
This has been the most craziest offseason by the Bengals ever.
I mean, it's been good. You never want to have to coach a Senior Bowl because that means you're one of the worst two teams in the year before. But you'd like to think that's going to help the guys in the draft, maybe find some hidden gems. But Zach, let's be honest, came to the dance late last year and assembled a coaching staff at the last hour. Now they had to have a full season under their belt, and can't wait to see what transpires. I think the old way of thinking's gone. Look at free agency this year. I mean, it was a huge year in free agency, something that we haven't seen from the Bengals in years past, and really looking forward to tomorrow night and maybe some outside the box. Jimmy, you touched on it. Maybe they trade back into the first round. By doing that, they get that 5th-year option on a player. So that's, from pick 33, even if they move up one spot, it's as simple as getting a 5th-year option on whoever you snag there in round 1. So it's going to be exciting. Certainly, I think, there's some great quarterbacks here. We're going to take the best one, but it's a deep wide receiver class. There's a couple exciting linebackers out there, and I think there's some stud tackles that can solidify anybody's offensive lines.
James, I'm ready to go now. I'll be a restricted free agent. I will play right tackle. I'm ready to go. All right.
Hey, you said you'd never miss a game since '91. You don't want to get on the field. You might miss a couple after that.
Right.
Hey, just before we go, Sanford in the chat says looking forward to this. Tanner Huselman says going to my first game after we draft Burrow from St. Louis, going to be fun. Make sure you obviously check out Bengal Gym tailgate experience when you're at your first game. And then Big Mike says, thanks for doing this, guys.
Yep. Mike will be
thanks
on.
for tuning in, man.
Yep. Good stuff, guys. We appreciate it. Hey, get the word out. We've got a great lineup tomorrow night. We're excited as hell about this. I'm probably not sleeping tonight. I'm just that excited. So Christmas Eve in Bengal land, and we will see everybody tomorrow evening. Yep. Good day, guys.
Good day.